quick, I want to congratulate, Coach 100K. You said this would be an ambassador factory. And when I established the Breakthrough Bible Dream Team, I said, by the grace of God, we will produce one ambassador a week, one global per month, and a crown every quarter. Not only have we done that, we're far beyond. So we just had another ambassador. That's right, another ambassador, Nina Graham. Now, Nina, watch this now. Let me see if we can find her out there real quick, and we're going to bring our special guest here. But I wanted to see, I believe in giving people recognition. I believe in letting people know they did a good job. So, Nina, I'm looking for you on the board. If you're out there, hit star. That'll unmute your line. Nina Graham, if you're out there, star will unmute your line. Star will unmute your line. I'm looking for you here, and I don't see. Okay.
Good morning.
That's you. Hey, good morning. Congratulations, Ambassador Nina. Come on now.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, what was it? I mean, come on now, ambassador level. 2 Corinthians 5:20. We are ambassadors for Christ, but now in the natural, you made ambassador with this company in record time. And of course, your sponsor kind of set the bar pretty high. She's 82, no computer, and she made it. And so you're working hard, but you made it. And so I just wanted all the folks here to be able to congratulate you. And as a matter of fact, the guest speaker, he's going to speak this morning. You're going to hear about a woman like yourself and like Patty Patterson and many of the women on this line. And the men, we're going to develop the same personality trait, the same skill. But I just wanted to give you a special recognition. I know you've been working hard, and you made it happen by the grace of God, for the glory of God. So Nina Graham, Ambassador Nina Graham, we say congratulations. Shark, Coach, just say congratulations real quick before we get the speaker out of here. 100K. Uh-oh, Coach, did we lose you? Okay, we may have lost him. But anyway, congratulations again, Nina, and congratulations, by the way, for every one of you out there that are going to hit that ambassador level, going to hit the global level, going to hit the crown level. Hey, there you go, sir. I think you're breaking up. Yes, sir. Now I can hear you. All right. Yeah, he must be driving or something. But anyway, Nina, so Coach 100K sends his greeting and blessing to you as well. And so, again, congratulations. Thank you. And wow. Matter of fact, I was talking to Patty last night. She's like, all righty, I'm about to hit that global now. I said, okay, now. She's about to hit it, and so appreciate that. All righty, my friend, I want you to get ready. I'm going to give you my Breakthrough Daily Attitude Adjuster, and get ready for this special guest speaker that's about to blow your mind. The Spirit of God's going to use him to impact you. And so this is how I start my day. This is sometimes throughout the day, but God gave this to me 4:30 in the morning many, many years ago. And I call it the Breakthrough Attitude, Daily Attitude Adjuster, because it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. Wow, what a great day to be alive. I feel dynamite. I like me. I accept me. I love me. I'm going to have a super fantastic day today because I'm too blessed to be depressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed, too glad to be sad, and too anointed to be disappointed, too elated to be agitated, too grounded to be confounded, too gifted to be restricted, too grateful to be hateful, and too saved not to be getting paid. I'm also too legit to quit. Circumstances are aligning themselves in my favor. I am healthy, physically fit, and intellectually equipped. I have wisdom far beyond my years. I'm an extraordinary person with incredible abilities, which I will use to add value to others' lives, knowing that as I empower others to reach their dreams, I will automatically reach my own. I anticipate meeting the person or group of people today who are willing to use their power, wealth, and influence to help me achieve my dreams. All day long, people will go out of their way to bless me, Today, I will add great value to someone's life. I will show compassion to those in need. I will give strength to the weak and inspiration to the weary. Someone needs what I have to offer, and I gladly make myself available. I embrace abundance, and it embraces me. I am abundant in every good way. I am an abundance magnet. I like money, and it likes me. And it's attracted to me and comes abundantly from many sources. I circulate God's money wisely because it's a tool to help those in need. It's also a way of keeping score of how many people's lives I added value to. I may have been broke, busted, and disgusted, but now I declare I'm rich, growing, and overflowing. My business is booming and checks are zooming. I am happy on purpose. I'm experiencing great victories, supernatural turnarounds, and miraculous breakthroughs in the midst of great impossibilities. I am an overcomer. If my mountain can't be removed, I'll develop and practice my mountain climbing skills. I may experience a setback, but setbacks are only setups for comebacks. Setbacks pave the way for comebacks. I'll make lemonade out of life's lemons. And if life dares to knock me down, I'll fall on my back, realizing that as long as I can look up, I can get up. I commit to paying for my dreams with preparation and perspiration so that I won't have to live with my nightmares of regret. I do not procrastinate because procrastination leads to devastation. It is the assassination of our destination. Thus, I will act now. I am a doer. I get results that last. I now release the champion that is inside of me. I am the leader that multitudes of people are looking for. I choose to succeed today and every day hereafter. Watch out, world. Here I come. And man, they asked John Wesley one day, he's preached so hot he got kicked out of the established Church of England, and he would go across the cemetery and preach from his father's tombstone in the cemetery, and they had more people come out there than they had to come to the beautiful church. Somebody said, John Wesley, what's the secret? How do you get more people to come out to hear you preach in the elements in the cemetery than it would go into a nice soft seat in the church and everything? He said, simple. I put myself on fire and people come watch me burn. And you got to learn what puts you on fire, my friend, and then you can burn. And I'm telling you, my friend, this call is designed. Sometimes you need to call, other times the call needs you. And this call is designed to do just that. And our speaker is going to do that, my friend. Pastor Timmy Smart, pastor of Kingdom Life Ministries. I was driving on my way to church and running a little late. And of course, when I'm not out preaching, we attend church here. And so I saw the sign that said Kingdom Life Ministries, and I was like, no, wait a minute, Lord. Wow, Kingdom Life Ministries. Should I just visit there this morning real quick? And so I turned the car around, went and visit, and Pastor Timmy Smart and his lovely wife having services there, and we just connected, and it's been incredible. As a matter of fact, his wife got the nano card, and she was a little embarrassed. She said, I can only do one push-up, but now with that nano card, I call it the breakthrough card. She said, I can do like 5 or 6. I said, well, sister, that's 5 or 6 times more than you were doing. But anyway, and so taking the 21-day challenge and so forth. But Pastor spoke on something that just arrested my attention, because this is what I'm all about, empowering people to break through. And the message he gave was one of the most powerful breakthrough principles that I believe every Christian, every kingdom person, every business person has to learn, but not just learn, implement into their lives. And so I asked him to come and give that. So, Pastor, the time is yours. Thank you so much for your love for God. Thank you for what you're allowing the King of Kings to do through you for the glory of the kingdom. And we'll look forward to God blessing the people through the words that you speak. Pastor Smart.
Thank you so much.
Unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, champ.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Stan. Thank you. I really tap into that energy. It's amazing. What a great day to start the day. Thank you all for this opportunity to speak with us, God's word, which is the key to success. Now, I really want to talk real quick this morning because I understand that I have a short time. So in the next 15 minutes, I should be done. The word will be short, sharp, and loaded. So I want you to get ready as the word of God comes out. We will be looking at Matthew chapter 15, verse 22 to 28. Matthew 15, 22 to 28. This is a story about a woman. I may not read it all because of time. I may just focus on verse 28, and I will give you the story that came before. The Bible says in verse 28, then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. From verse 22, the Bible says that the woman had a daughter who was sick, and the daughter was so sick that this woman was looking for solution everywhere, and anyhow it will come. And now, like I said in church the other one time, we all are parents and we have kids, we have children. We know what it's like when our children are sick, and we try to go to the doctor, we go to emergency, we do different things just to see that they are well. Now, this was the situation of this woman, and this woman happened to hear of Jesus passing by, and they've told her about the miracles that Jesus had been doing. And this woman decided to go and see Jesus for solution. And when she got there, the Bible said in verse 22, she began to call on Jesus, crying and asking Jesus, please have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. My daughter is sick. I need healing. I need my daughter to be well. Now the Bible said again that Jesus, that word really struck me, that Jesus answered her not a word. That means there was silence. I don't know if this woman cried for about 30 minutes or about 1 hour. The Bible did not specify time, but this woman began to cry. It was crying, but the Bible said Jesus would not answer her a word. Now, I believe that some of us are in this situation right now, where you have been praying, you have a great need, you have something you've been believing God for in your business, in your relationship, in whatever you are doing, and you have been asking for God to intervene, and it looks like the heavens are silent to your prayers. And some of us are at the verge of quitting. I have that understanding right now in my spirit that some of us in the call are in the verge of quitting and saying, God is not answering me. God is not hearing my prayers. This woman was in that condition. She cried to Jesus, but there was quietness. There was silence. The Bible, Jesus did not answer the woman a word. Now, the woman, I believe, began to push, began to press, refused to quit. She refused to take silence for an answer. She refused to take no for an answer. She began to push on and still keep crying. And it came to a point where the disciples of Jesus Christ came to Jesus and said, please, Master, send this woman away. She's disturbing us. We will not have peace today. This woman is actually robbing us of our peace. We really need some calmness here. We need rest. That indicated to me that the woman was not just silent. The woman was not just quiet like that. The woman was not sobbing. The woman was crying aloud. I need help. You must help me. Lord, I am not giving up till you answer me. So when the disciples came to Jesus and told Jesus that, now what does that mean? I was telling them last week that this is the second order, because I will be pointing out 3 orders that this woman overcame. This second order was these disciples coming to Jesus to tell Jesus to send the woman away. Now, some of us, sometimes we are in problem, and we think that people that are seeing us in that problem, in that pain, supposed to sympathize with us, help us out. But those, unfortunately, nobody's coming to our aid. The woman thought that the disciples would even plead a case with Jesus, saying, please, Jesus, answer this woman, respond to her, and let her go. But the disciples did not do that. They went to Jesus. They were more concerned about their peace. They were more concerned about their health. They were more concerned about their rest. So they went to Jesus and sent her away. Some people we trusted, we depended on, we thought that they will help us during our time of need when we are down. You go to them and they are pushing you away. They began to tell you things, why you should not even do this business, why you should quit this business, why telling you the number of people that have failed in the business that you have started. Why do you think you are the one that will make it? Why don't you just quit and go? That is the second hurdle that the woman overcame. The woman refused to let that situation weigh her down. She continued to push. She continued to press. She continued to move on. And the Bible recorded in verse 25, verse 24, but he said unto her, I am not sent. That's Jesus finally opened his mouth to respond to this woman. But what he said to the woman was very, discouraging kind of, because he said, I am not sent to the lost sheep of Israel. No, to the lost sheep. I'm only sent to the lost sheep of Israel. And now the woman, in other words, I'm not sent for you. The miracle you are asking for is not for you. It's for a group of people, a set of people. He also actually went further to say in verse 26 that I am here it's not wise for me to give the bread of the children to dogs. Kind of typifying the woman to a dog, according to the scriptures. I know many of us that we quit at this point will say, no, I've had enough. The insult is enough. Is it because I'm calling you to come and do a business that will prosper you, that profit you? That's why you are insulting me. I am not going further. I'm so done. If my child will die, let her die. I am done pushing. But this woman refused to take no for an answer. She refused to be intimidated. She refused to be rejected. She said, I must be accepted. And now in Jesus Christ, so she now opened up her mouth and said to Jesus, I understand that it's not good to give the bread of children to dogs, but the dogs could eat from the crumbs that falls from the table. And when Jesus heard this, Jesus said, wow, great is your faith, O woman. Great is your faith. He said, because you have pushed, because you have persisted, that miracle, you are getting it. Be it done unto you according to your faith. Now, blessings are not for those who quit. Many of us quit at the verge of our miracles. Many of us, because we quit based on what people told us about our lives. Many people, we have been defined by what people say. This woman, the first order of Jesus silent, not answering her, did not stop her. The second order of his disciple pushing, feeling rejected, pushing that she should leave, did not stop her from pushing for a miracle. The third one for Jesus saying that I cannot give the bread that belongs to others to you, to a dog. I know many people that will leave church, many people that will quit and say, Pastor, I'm not coming to that church anymore. Can you believe it? Did you hear what the pastor said to me? Did you hear what that Christian sister said? It's calling me a dog. I am not going to that place anymore. Many people will leave Christianity. Many people will leave God. Most of us will quit our business. Most of us will quit our relationship. Many of us will leave the marriage because we did not, because somebody told us something that we didn't want to hear. But this woman pushed through the three orders and she got her miracles. Why does God make it happen like that sometimes? I was looking at the book of Proverbs chapter 25 verse 2. The Bible says, is the honor of a king of God to hide a thing. But is the glory of God to hide a thing, but the honor of king is to search it out. Why does God allow us go through time? Why does God want us to have some persistent faith? Why does God want us to push? So that when the miracle comes, you will appreciate it. You will celebrate it. When you just start a business and it just starts blowing, you don't know what God has done for you sometimes. But when you start a business and you push through hurdles and you push through resistance and you push through things that try to stop you, at the end of the day, when you arrive, you will be able to say, yeah, God, indeed, this is the doing of the Lord, and it is marvelous in my sight. The three others could come in different ways. It may not be according to how this woman in the Bible's own went, but it could be a different thing altogether for you. But one thing I am confident about is that if you don't quit, you will win. If you don't quit, you will win. Life is full of things that will push us back, that will tend to push us back. But when we resist and push and press through, we will get our miracles. There's a word I want to put out here. I said faith is the key to receiving from God. If you have faith that this thing must work, like what Dr. Stan was just reciting, what the declarations he was making at the beginning of this call, those declarations are powerful. You could see him sounding like he believed them, and it works for him according to his belief system. Let everybody fail in the business. If you say, for the fact others fail does not mean I will fail, that I must succeed, you will definitely succeed. So I just want to drop this in your heart this morning, that winner is not him that never fails, but winner is him that refuses to quit. What is faith? Faith is seeing through others, seeing your results even in the midst of others. Faith is seeing through the dark cloud and the storm, seeing your destination in the midst of those dark clouds and the storm. Faith is the ability to refuse to accept no for an answer when you need yes as an answer. So I just want to thank you this morning for this few minutes of the word of God that has come your path. But if you can fly with this word, trust me, nothing will be impossible with you, and nothing will be impossible for you. Thank you so much, Dr. Stan, for this short time, and thank you so much all for listening. God bless you. I appreciate you.
Wow. Wait a minute, Pastor. Wait a minute now. You just, the world says drop it like it's hot. You dropped that like it's holy. Come on, somebody. And you dropped it with honor. Folks, this woman, what I love, again, he's got so much he could share, but if you could get what he just said, I'm telling you, I had him come on the Kingdompreneur call, and then I was like, you know what, bro, you need to do that on this leadership call as well. And so, Pastor, if you wouldn't mind, just real briefly share. I heard you talking about when you were back in your home country, and you kept telling them you were going to be here, you're an American citizen, and just briefly tell that story and then how you end up getting married. So just, you got to throw that in too.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Stan. Yeah. Well, many years ago when I was younger, way younger, for some reason I have always loved to be in America and to be an American. So I kept telling people, and I was born in a very remote village, small town. And where I was then, if I was told that I would even travel to the next country, the next African country, it would be like a dream. It would be like a tall dream. But here am I saying that I'm an American citizen, and everybody will be laughing at me when I say that. People will laugh and say. So there came a time that even if there's an American sport, if America is playing a game with other countries, they'll come and call me and say, hey, your country is playing now, come and watch them, I will watch them. So it's a word I kept saying, I'm an American citizen. Fast forward, over 30 years later, I find myself, by divine arrangement, divine orchestration, I found myself in America. And when I came to America, it was like, it didn't dawn on me then. 6 years later, after my stay in America, when I was being sworn in as an American citizen, it was then, while I was in the hall, I heard people saying this has been a 28 years journey for them. Some were saying this has been a 32 years journey for them, becoming an American, to be an American citizen. It was then it dawned on me, the reflection of the picture of when I was a child, and when I kept saying I'm an American citizen, just all played in my front while in the hall, while we were being sworn in as a citizen, as an American citizen. So there's nothing that is impossible if you persist and hold on to God. Now, you said I should tell you quickly about my marriage. When I met my wife, I had no money. There was no money because when I came, there was not much I was doing because of my status. And I met my wife, and I loved her. I knew that this woman would fit my future. She fits my destiny. And I believe God was leading me. And when I met her, we were together. I was no work. Each time I tell her I want to get married next year, she would like ask me, how will you get married? I didn't know why she was asking. I didn't know because she was living with the pastor. I didn't know she was seeing my tithe, that I was paying $250. I was paying $25 tithe in 2 weeks. So that means I was making my total income was $250 in 2 weeks. And she kept asking me some funny questions in my mind. Why is this woman asking me? I didn't know she was seeing my tithe. How will you get married? I said, when the time comes, the marriage will happen. And I told people I would be marrying at a particular time, and they told me, where's the girl? I said, God will provide himself a lamb. And the date I fixed for my marriage, it happened. The year and the time I fixed for my marriage, that was when I got married. And when I met my wife, when I proposed to my wife, I was telling them in church one day, I did not have money to buy a ring. I went down on my knees and said, wife, will you marry me? I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you do me the honor to be my wife? She said, I will. What should have followed should have been ring, but because I had no money to buy a ring. But I made her a promise. I said, time is coming, you're going to wear a lot of rings, the beautiful rings. And today, God has made all happen. So if you can see it and if you can believe it, result is bound to happen. Thank you.
Wow. So it was Booker T. Washington that said it best. Booker T. Washington said, success, and I want you to get this, folks, hang on every word. Success is not based on what you accomplish. Booker T. Washington said real success is based on, well, I'm going to paraphrase, what you have to break through in order to get to your success. See, again, he said success is not based on what you accomplish, what you do. No, it's what you have to go through. And so I like to say it's what you have to break through in order to get to that success. And this woman broke through the rejection. See, you know why it's hard for so many of you to build a big business? Because you got too many people that wear their feelings on their sleeves. And don't get me wrong now. None of us like being rejected. Don't get me wrong. None of us want that feeling. We care about people. And if you know these hydration drops can change people's lives. When you hear of a Lily Gray who is on a walker and could barely get around, legs swollen, and she starts Pastor Kenny Smith, Coach 100K, gives her the hydration drops, and in 2 days, she's off her walker. 2 days, her legs have gone down now. When you hear stories like that, you think everybody in the world ought to have these hydration drops, right? When you hear of stories like Roberta, who dropped 30 pounds, when you hear of stories like Roberta and Lily, who took the 21-day breakthrough challenge and broke them out of their depression, broke them out of their insecurity. When you hear the story of Les Carter, who, again, my friend, neuropathy in his feet and cuts the nano card in half in one shoe, half in the other shoe, and his feeling comes back in his feet, and now his life is totally transformed. And you get fired up and you want to tell everybody. When you hear of a Gloria Gillum, as you heard her story, and many of these stories I could call, my friend, Pastor, who dropped 35 pounds, Pastor Peterson, and I was just talking to his bishop last night. He's like, man, he don't even have to tell his testimony. You could see it. He said, it's incredible. But what I'm saying is this, my friend, and you have a tendency, you get excited, you think everybody in the world ought to say yes to it. And when you go to people, they say no. And what happens is some of you get blown out of the water. See, here's a difference that you have to understand, my friend, and that is this. Les Brown used to talk about you got to be hungry, but guess what? You can't just be hungry. You got to be humble. See, when you get humble, my friend, you don't let your feelings get hurt all the time. When you get humble and you're hungry, my friend, like this woman, you said, you know what? I'm going after this thing. And by the way, all this church hurt. And again, I'm telling you, it's wrong on both sides. The folks is wrong for acting the fool and treating people wrong. But you folks that get offended, you wrong too. I mean, you're supposed to have a relationship instead of being part of some religious little nightclub. I'm saying, listen, I'm telling you, we could break through all that if people would understand, like Booker T. Washington said, it's not based on what you accomplish. It's what you have to break through, what you have to go through to get there. And so that's why you got to have that breakthrough mentality. Without a breakthrough mentality, nothing in heaven or earth can help you. Let me say it again. Without a breakthrough mentality, nothing in heaven or earth can help you. People talking about they waiting on God. No, he's waiting on you So the Bible says when they went everywhere preaching the word and the Lord working with them. You don't get the Lord working with you when you sit waiting on him. No, you get outgoing and then he works with you. And I'm telling you, this woman, my friend, anybody in their right mind would think her feelings would be hurt. The very God of the universe ignored her, but she would not be ignored. She said, I'm breaking through. No, oh, no, no, no. My daughter's got to be. This ain't about me. This ain't about how I feel. It ain't about what people might think. My daughter is vexed of a devil. I'm getting her healing. I'm getting her healing. And the disciples say, you know what, woman, go on. Just leave him alone. We ain't helping you. He ignored you. We not helping you. Go on. She's like, no, you don't understand. My daughter is going to get her healing. And finally, the Lord says, okay, let me just reason with you, woman. I'm not even here for you. I ain't here for you and your folks. I got a special task. I'm on focus, and you don't fit into it. And he said, and she said, you know what? As the pastor said, when he said, I'm not come to, to give the bread to dogs. She's like, look, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the children's table. And the Lord said, you know what? This woman won't be denied. And, I used to teach always in the martial arts, the man or woman that won't be whipped can't be whipped. And you just got to keep on keeping on. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination are almost omnipotent by Calvin Coolidge. And the word says, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know your labor is not in vain. I was just reading the book yesterday, Dr. Haywood Robinson, man, powerful, powerful man of God, and very humble, but connected me with Dr. Paul Chipman, who sent me his book, Think Right, Live Right, 21-Day Plan to Overcome Negative Thoughts. And as I was reading, I was sharing with my wife, he talked about 1,500 pastors leave the ministry permanently each month in the United States. Not overseas where it's super hard, right here in the United States. 50% of pastors feel so discouraged they would leave the ministry if they could, but they have no other way of making a living. It said that 71% of pastors stated they were burnt out. And anyway, I can go on and on, but just to say this, a total of 70% of pastors do not have a close friend, confidant, or mentor. So there's a lot of different things that feed into that. But what I'm saying is this, folks, if we just would get this story, the principles of this story, I know you're hurting. I know you've been crying, you've been praying, and it's been long, and the answer hasn't come. I know you went to some folks thinking they would encourage you. Instead of encouraging you, they criticize you. I understand, my friend, but what you don't understand is you got to put your feelings aside. What you don't understand is you got to get your breakthrough, my friend. And so one of the things I teach in the 21-Day Breakthrough Challenge is that the master, now listen carefully, the master has failed more times than the than the student ever dreamed of attempting. See, what you don't know, see, folks think, well, this Dr. Breakthrough, things just come easy for him. And I was talking to somebody the other day, guy says, man, you just never talk about your problems. I said, dude, no, I got problems. The problems just don't have me. Come on, somebody. And yeah, there's times when I want to slip into trying to have a little pity party, and I got to talk to myself and break out of that. But I'm saying this, my friend, I'm saying this. So some of you are like, well, I'd like to be crowned for like Dr. Breakthrough, and I'd like to be, and some people think, well, this Dr. Breakthrough, this Breakthrough Dream Team, them folks just breaking records and everything just seems to click. No. See, what they don't understand is we are focused on getting results, my friend. We're focused on getting the breakthrough, and we just stay so focused like this woman. She's like, I'm getting my daughter healed. I don't know what it takes. Laugh at me, ignore me, do what you got to do. I'm doing that thing. And like Pastor Martin said, look, I'm a United States citizen. Y'all laugh at me all y'all want to, but the day's going to come. And listen, not only did the day come, but it was blessed of God. He and his lovely wife were able to build a house right here in this area where we live here. It's right up the street, around the corner, actually. And now starting the ministry and the different things that he's got going on. And I want you all to pray. God's just going to abundantly open up the blessings and enlarge his coast. The message that he has, people need to hear the message that he has, what God has put in him, and just like what God has put in you. And so I'm calling on every person on this call, every person that hears this recording, I'm telling you, as one of, listen, out of there's less than 100 of us that have made 10th degree black belt out of 7.4 billion people. But martial arts wasn't a talent that I had. I tripped over my own feet when I got started. They laughed at me. They called me Mr. Baboon. But my attitude to them, and of course before I was saved, I said, y'all better laugh now because one day I'm going to whoop all y'all. And by the way, that day came. But anyway, what I'm saying is this. I just was determined, man. I went off to college. I didn't even know you're supposed to be accepted. I just showed up. And they were like, what do you? I was like, well, I'm going. They're like, you haven't even been accepted. So I was like, okay, well, I ain't going nowhere. Y'all going to accept me because I'm, and not only did I get accepted, not only did I graduate, not only did I do postgraduate work, I ended up being a professor there. I'm saying, listen, man, you got to get some grit in your crawl. You got, and I'm telling you, I'm so glad for folks that love on you. The Bible says, and some have compassion, but others it says with fear, pulling them out of the fire. See, you got to stop wanting folk to baby you all the time. You got to stop wanting folk to understand you all the time. And you got to get like this woman that said, listen, I don't care if nobody understands. I don't care if everybody rejects. I don't care. My daughter has got to get her breakthrough. And if I don't do it, if I don't do my part, she's not going to get it. And so I am not turning back. Pastor, you got me all fired up, man. I wouldn't even. So we went over time, but anyway, but Pastor Smart, appreciate you, and Apostle Barry Burrell, and you bishops out there, Bishop Neal, Dr. Haywood, all of you pastors, and Dr. Ham, and all of you out there. We just appreciate the work. Les Carter, all of you ministers out there of the gospel, don't throw in the towel, don't give up, keep by the stuff, but don't just keep by the stuff, and don't just hang in there. Keep climbing by the grace of God, because they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. And to have it renewed means it was depleted. And so it's okay. It's okay to get depleted. Just don't stay depleted. just get back up. And I'm telling you, my friend, I am telling you, when things go hard for me, I just push. I'll just go even harder. And even in this business, people don't understand. There's some serious adversity I face. And I know what I said to myself. Okay, I'm gonna show some folk. Okay, I'm gonna show them something. And so now, my friend, by the grace of God, we're the only crown, not just crown 2, only crown 3, only crown 4. And now I decided, by the grace of God, by my birthday, I'm gonna hit crown 5. So let folks say what they will, and let things not happen the way you thought it was gonna happen. And even in your prayer closet, sometimes seem like the Lord's like, because sometimes the teacher can't talk to the student in the midst of the test. So just pass the test. Just persist through the test. Just keep on praying. Just keep on plotting. And as Pastor was speaking, I was praying, God, help everyone on this call to help me to get it even deeper than I think I understand it. Let us live this, and the world will see, and then you will not be denied. So, my friend, it's your breakthrough. You get it if you want it bad enough. Are you hungry? You can get it if you want it bad enough. Are you humble enough just to hang in there, and humble enough to keep on keeping on? Hey, we love you. We believe in you. And my friend, you will break through and succeed if, like the pastor said, you just keep keeping on.